Hello, I'm Nancy, and in this video I'll show you some of the error and exception codes you may see in your REST API applications. A faulty REST request to a server may throw an exception that provides extra details that you can respond to in code or simply show to the user. You can see the full list of those REST exceptions here. Type your interface name /services/rest/connect/exceptions. These are the numeric codes only, so to see details on any individual code, type its URL into your browser. Here, for example, we'll try number 13, which I happen to know is the exception code detail for the exception that's thrown when you try to access data that's not there. See how you're getting extra detail here. And now let's see how we could use this in code. Here's a little demonstration app in PHP, a form that gets data from a contact by its ID. Look here at my code. I'm using curl to make my request to the REST URL endpoint. So here in the try block, I'm executing that request. And of course, if something is wrong with my actual call, I'll drop down into this catch block. But if my call goes through and the server sees something wrong with my request and returns an error message, well, then the catch won't be hit. So in that case, I'm going to check for two other possible problems. I'll check here to see if there was a problem getting to my site. Could be a protocol problem or a host problem, for example, and curl will tell me that. And then the other possibility left is that the response that came back was from the REST service itself. So if a resource doesn't exist, for example, or I'm not authorized to access it, this is where that information will be, in the response itself. I'll parse that response, which will be in JSON format, and I can use it to extract the HTTP status and the detail information from the REST exception, that information that we saw earlier. Here I'm just going to display it to the user, but I could take some other action, of course. So let's look at what I get back when I run this application with various inputs. First, I'll enter number 1, which is a valid ID. And here's that HTTP response with all the data on contact number 1. Then I'll enter an ID that I know's not there, number 33, so you can see what that response looks like, since that call will throw an exception. See where it's returned that code 13 that we were looking at? You can also see that in the returned response, the HTTP status code 404, meaning not found, is there, and also the Oracle exception detail field that gives you a lot more information to work with. And now let me provide a non-number. I'll use XXX. This time I get a 400 status code, bad request, because the XXS couldn't be parsed as a number. See that the detail here can also be helpful to the user if I wanted to display it. If you're wondering what the rest of the code for a REST application for the web written in PHP and using curl would look like, there are other videos from Oracle that do a complete walkthrough. Thanks for watching.